As you know, we have learned how to write major scales for grade 1 by using this checklist, binding the key signature and marking the semitones from the 3rd to 4th and the 7th and 8th degrees of the scale. Let's take a look at the minor scales this week. So last week we learned that the relative minors and majors share the same key signature. So in this chart we have the checklist of two minor scales, the natural minor scale and the harmonic minor scale. First, let's take a look at the natural minor scale. Just like major scales, we need to write the clef and check if the key signature is the same as the major key of the relative major, and we need to write 8 notes going up or down, and then finally the semitones are different from a major scale. As you can see, we are going to mark the 2nd and the 3rd degrees and the 5th and the 6th degrees for a natural minor scale. Let's take a look at the harmonic minor scale. So the harmonic minor will also have the same features as the natural minor with an extra feature. That means we need to raise the 7th note of the scale by a half step. So that makes it another semitone from the 7th and the 8th degrees of that scale, in addition to the 2nd and 3rd and the 5th and 6th. Okay, so make sure you use this checklist to do your exercises on page 25. Let's take a look at your workbook. Let's take a look at page 24. Now if someone tells you that music is written in the key of A minor or C major, it means it's using the scale notes from that particular scale. Right, so let's take a look at the natural minor scale. So we have been given an example of A natural minor scale starting from A to A. So now we know that the A minor scale has the same key signature as the C major. If you count 3 semitones up from A, you get to C major, which shares the same key signature. So that's why we don't have any sharps or flats in this scale. We are just going to write all the white notes from A to A. And you can see the semitones are marked differently from the 2nd and 3rd, and you will find another semitone from the 5th and the 6th degrees of the scale. So this applies to all natural minor scales because the tones and semitone pattern is different here. And because of this factor, the minor scales will give you a dull sound or a sad sound when you play. So here we have the A minor scale going down. Again, another example. The scale degrees are marked from backwards, which means the number 1 will always be the lower A and the number 8 will always be the highest A. Either way, the scale degrees does not change, it will always be the same. Okay, so when you're marking the numbers from backwards, your 2nd and 3rd will be right here and the 5th and the 6th notes will be here. Okay, let's take a look at the questions on page 25. Give a name for the first degree in any key, major or minor. As you know, the first note of any scale is called a tonic or do. We learned for grade 1, so you can write either of it. Both will be correct. Let's take a look at the second question. Which note is the tonic in the key of A minor? So A minor starts with the note A. As you know, the tonic is the note A. Then number 3. If you write a piece in the key of A minor, from which scale will you take most of the notes? As obvious as it is, you will apply the notes from the A minor scale. So if a composer is writing a melody, he will be using the notes from the A minor scale. So generally, he would start his melody and end on the tonic note of the key. Let's take a look at the number 4. If you listen to a piece in the key of A minor, on which note will the music often begin and end? So we just have to write the note A because generally you would find the melody starting and ending on A. Let's take a look at the next question. Write the tonic in two different registers in the key of A minor. So you have to write two A's. You can basically write any two A's. And next, let's take a look at number 6. Write the tonic in three different registers in the key of C major. So I can write, since this is in the bass clef, I can write a C up here on the second space, and I can write a middle C, that's another C. And if you can't find the third C, I'm going to count 8 steps down from space to line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So you'll basically, your landing note will be 2 ledger lines below the stave, and your C will be on a line. You can also do the same. If you count 8 steps up from the middle C, you'll land on the next C up. Okay, let's take a look at number 7. Write 1 octave A natural minor scale in semibriefs going up. So let's start from the lowest A, since we have to go up, and we write 8 notes like a ladder: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and I can end on the A on the 5th line. So I have 8 notes if I count up. Since we know that A minor and C major share the same key signature, we are not going to write any sharps or flats here. So I'm going to mark the semitones from the 2nd and the 3rd, and the 5th and 6th will always be a semitone. And let's bracket this and write an S on top, and the rest will be all tones. Okay, let's take a look at the next one. Write 1 octave A natural minor scale in minims going down. So this time the scale is going down, so I'm going to write the notes from the highest A. Okay, so I've written out 8 notes going down from the highest A to the lowest A, and since I don't have a key signature to write here, we're going to mark the semitones from the 2nd and 3rd and the 5th and 6th. Okay, let's go to the next one. Write 1 octave A natural minor scale in semibriefs going up. So basically we did the same thing on question number 7, but this time it's on the treble clef, so we need to be careful on the notes we pick. So let's find an A on the treble clef. I'm going to start with the lower A and go up. Okay, so I have all my 8 notes. Make sure you double check if you have all the notes written out in the order from line, space, and then all I have to do is mark the semitones. Let's check the last one. Write 1 octave A natural minor scale in minims going down. So this time it's the same question as number 8, but we need to write it in the treble clef. So I've just found out the higher A here. I'm going to use this as my starting note. So let's go down the notes in reverse: A, G, F, E, D, C, B, and A. So I finished on the 2nd space. Now all I have to do is make them minims. Just reminded me that I did not write the stems here, so double check your answers carefully. Alright, so I'm done with this page. Let's go to the next question on page 26. This time we are going to learn about the harmonic minor scale, which is slightly different from the natural minor scale, but it will have the same features of the natural minor, with the next up feature where you have to raise the seventh note. Okay, so the seventh note of A minor scale, as you know, the A minor scale shares the same key signature as C major, so we have all white keys. So if you're raising the seventh note, this G is a natural G. When you raise it one step up, it will become a G sharp. The same thing applies when your scale is going down. Make sure you count all the notes from the back end and find the seventh note with this, which is the G sharp. And so raising this seventh note will give us another semitone to mark on the harmonic minor scale. Okay, so there are 3 semitones to mark here. Okay, let's take a look at question number 1. Raise the 7th degree by a semitone each time to change these scales from A natural minor scale to A harmonic minor scale. So they have given us the notes of the A natural minor scale, which is the same as the harmonic minor scale. So all we have to do is raise the 7th note and add these little features. Okay, and if your scale is descending, you're going to have to number them from the lowest note to the top. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 is again the G here. That's it. Let's take a look at question 2. Write 1 octave A harmonic minor scale in minims going down. So first thing we have to check is the clef. You can see this is a bass clef, and next thing we have to check is the key signature. So A harmonic minor shares the same key signature as C major. If you count 3 semitones up from A, you'll get to C major. So we don't need to write any sharps or flats after the clef. Straight away I'm going to write the notes from A. Since this scale is going down, I'm going to start with a higher A and write all the white keys from A to A. So double check if you have all the 8 notes. Then you have to make them minims. You have to raise the 7th note and mark the semitones. Right. Okay, so I'm done with this question. So complete up to page 26. And that's it for this week. I'll see you next time.